We all know not to eat a diet full of saturated fats and processed foods because it will clog the arteries to your heart. But what about the arteries or our channels to the divine, to the heavens? What are we doing to protect that channel? Most people, like 99.99% of people, are walking around with clogged spiritual arteries. They're listening to programming, TV, news, media, music that's infiltrating their brains and keeping them in fear, shame, guilt, constantly keeping them in states of comparison. All of that is designed to keep you and your heart closed. Your heart is your connection to the divine. Your heart is your connection. And so many people are walking around with closed hearts. I remember just as a kid kind of looking at my dad and thinking, like, this isn't the way. There's something about this that doesn't feel right. And I spent the majority of my life meeting people who had closed hearts, and I was trying to do kind of some sort of spiritual surgery to fix these people that were so closed off. And ultimately, I know that that's not my job. That was coming from childhood trauma. If I had fixed these other people, it would have healed something in me that didn't fix it in my parents. I know it's not my job. It still is hard to watch people that you love walking around with closed hearts or these demonic entities attached, and there's nothing that you can do. And when you are in these situations, God will call you away. You can't be around those kind of energies because they will clog your channel. They will disconnect you from the divine, and that is by design. If the devil can't reach you, he will go through your friends and your family, and it's hard to witness and it's hard to watch, and all you can really do is pray for them and pray for healing. But when you have wounds in your soul, when you have these core traumas that you haven't healed yet, and you're operating from insecurity, you're operating from lack, shame, guilt, fear, or from the demonic entities like narcissism and such, when you have those wounds, you're open to being used in ways that you're not going to be consciously aware of. And that can happen to anybody. So we as divine beings need to be very cognizant of the energies that we are inviting into our life, whether that's into our physical space, our home, or it's inviting into our emotional space, our hearts, your other physical spaces. When you are inviting energies in that are not good for you, that don't have good intent for you, you will end up clogging your channel to the divine. It is important to have good spiritual hygiene, and that starts with really strong boundaries of who you will let in your life and who you won't. And it's not out of meanness. It really honestly is a matter of necessity. When you have people in your family or in your close friends group, God forbid the one that you're married to or in a relationship to, who is ultimately sent here to destroy you, to harm you, to keep you stuck, to, keep you in fear, insecurity, shame, guilt, all of that, like that is sent by the devil. That is not what God wants for your life. He wants you to feel confident, secure. He wants you to have faith, and he wants you to keep your heart open to him and the miracles of life. But when you're constantly being beaten down, again, by media, TV, politics, religion, all of these systems that are telling you you're not good enough as you are, there's something wrong with you, you take it in and you hold that energy, and instead of being open and allowing yourself to be connected, have faith, be hopeful, you're closed. And when you're closed, that channel from the divine to you is also closed. With children, you see children running around and they're free and they're happy and they're hopeful and they're talking about their futures. Children are an open channel. As adults, when you go through heartbreak and trauma and all of these things, you begin to close. And that has been happening systematically to us for a very long time, of really trying to keep us closed off from connection to each other, from having deep conversations with each other, from sitting with people of different race, different genders, different belief systems, different politics, sitting with people and really getting to know them on a deep level and not making it about all of your differences, but finding the commonalities, because there are always commonalities. We have been targeted to have division amongst us, to keep us closed off, to keep us separate. And again, we have the North Node, which is the collective, point in which we're all moving, that is moving into Aquarius this week along with a full moon. So I will be back later for a different video about the astrology, but I just, again, wanted to remind you that the biggest way that you can rebel against the system and step out of the matrix is to love yourself, honor yourself, have integrity for yourself and others, obviously, but remember that keeping your spiritual channel clean, having good energetic hygiene is just as important as keeping your heart clean, your arteries open. They both are ultimately doing the same thing. Protecting your peace isn't about being avoidant and running away from problems. It's about addressing the problems, and when you see that there's nothing to do here, this clearly is not a relationship I'm meant to move forward in, or this isn't media I'm meant to consume anymore, or this isn't a lifestyle I'm meant to live anymore, and I can walk away and I can change my mind at any time because I have new information, I have a new skill set, life has challenged me or changed me in some way. You're always allowed to pivot. Open your eyes to what has been happening. Why would an entire system try to keep you in fear, shame, guilt, and insecurity? Because that system knows that when you break all of that, you're far more powerful than it. So break the system. That's how we do it.